Welcome to Bloomington Today. I'm Kaylin Cockrell. Thanks for joining us. Bloomington is lucky enough to have numerous parks and outdoor areas all around the city. There's even an area dedicated to the city's four-legged residents. Recently, city staff have come up with a way to conserve resources and save money while still accommodating your pet. Take a look. Bloomington's off-leash recreation area for dogs is 25 acres of pure pooch heaven. Large grassy areas for the pups to play in, wooded trails, and even a pond for your pet to cool off in. Keeping this park and other city parks well maintained is a must. In an effort to reduce costs on doggy cleanup bags while still providing that service to park goers, the city came up with a cost-effective give-and-take solution.
So what we've come up with is a system where the people who actually use the parks with their dogs provide bags, meaning the bags like you get vegetables and fruit from the grocery store or your Sunday paper in. And we've actually built containers where people can bring bags to share and then can take a bag when they need to use it.
Giving pets a large free place to roam, mingle, relax, or go nuts is exactly the point of a place like the Bloomington Off-Leash Dog Recreation Area, and eliminating money put towards doggy cleanup bags will ultimately help everyone.
The city certainly benefits. We're looking to continue to provide quality service at the most affordable price as economically as we can, and so if we're not having to spend thousands of dollars on doggy bags, we can take those resources and put them toward really more important and necessary types of things. So I think we'll all benefit from it.
The dog recreation area has already debuted the new dispensers, and the system is working great. The ultimate goal is to eliminate all expenditures for doggy bags around other city parks and allow these dollars to go elsewhere.
Hopefully over time, people will get the idea of the change we're trying to make, and we'll have the ability at some point down the road to take out those older dispensers, and we won't be buying the doggy bags anymore, and people will be supplying and helping themselves and helping others at the same time.
As the weather gets nicer, city officials would like to urge residents to get outdoors and enjoy one of the many city parks Bloomington has to offer. To bring your pet to the off-leash area, dogs must be licensed, their handlers must be in sight, and you must leash your pet when entering and exiting the park. For directions to the off-leash dog recreation area or to see a complete list of guidelines, visit the city's website, keyword search off-leash park. The sun is finally shining in Minnesota, and that means the grass is growing. The city's Environmental Health Division would like to remind residents to keep non-native areas mowed, even along streets and sidewalks. Environmental health inspectors are sent out several times throughout the spring and summer months looking for tall weeds and grass approaching 12 inches in height. A 10-day written notice is sent to the property owner that advises them to mow.
Long grass and weeds is considered a nuisance, and it's a nuisance that it can affect the property's value, or it can affect the neighboring property's value. In addition, it's considered a blight, which means that potentially it could lead to other types of nuisance conditions, attract other types of nuisance conditions, which could directly impact other neighboring properties. You'll see that when there's a cluster of homes that are not well maintained, it has a tendency to remain that way.
Many problem properties are vacant or foreclosed homes. As part of the city's continued effort to keep neighborhoods beautiful, Bloomington makes sure even those properties have well-manicured lawns. Stagnis says, for the most part, Bloomington is a very well-maintained community.
Most properties in Bloomington are very well-maintained, and we like to thank the residents for everyone that works very hard on their properties. It's nice to drive through the city, and we see a lot of very nice properties and very well-maintained properties, and we can see the amount of work and the hard work that goes into that. And I think that not only does the city thank them, but the other neighboring properties would thank them also for maintaining their properties. And so we spend our majority of our time on a small amount of properties in Bloomington, and bulk majority of the properties are very well maintained. And again, I can't express enough how much we appreciate people's work they do on their properties.
If you have questions about mowing inspections or to report an unsightly lawn, contact the city's Environmental Health Division at 952-563-8934. Again, the city would like to thank residents for all their help in keeping Bloomington beautiful, one lawn at a time. Last week on Bloomington Today, we talked with two people involved with the Beyond the Yellow Ribbon recognition program. Today, we'd like to remind residents to do their part in helping make Bloomington a yellow ribbon city by attending the Beyond the Yellow Ribbon kickoff event on Tuesday, June 14th at 6 p.m. at Civic Plaza. The city is asking for the support of educators, employers, veterans, medical personnel, social workers, as well as community members. With that support, Bloomington can come one step closer to becoming a yellow ribbon city, which helps create awareness in connecting service members and their families with community support, training, services, and resources. It's now time for a short break. When we come back, we're joined by two Tri-City partner advocates to talk about some upcoming events as they continue to look for support within the community. Stay with us.
We can't do it without you. Join the March for Babies and help us give every baby a healthy start.
Welcome back, everyone. We're now joined by Bloomington Public Health Youth Health Promotion Specialist Denise Reese and Tri-City Partners Coalition member and BEC TV Director Tom Ringdahl. Thanks for being here today.
It's a treat.
Well, welcome to the show. Today we're here to talk about the Tri-City Partners Coalition. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what that is and how each of you are involved with that?
Okay. Well, the Tri-City Partners Coalition works to reduce substance use in youth and also increase assets in the communities of Bloomington, Edina, and Richfield. And I'm one of the staff for the coalition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm the media liaison for the group, and so in our work with Bloomington Educational Cable Television, we do some outreach and try and work with other groups in Bloomington that work directly and help positively affect our youth in Bloomington. So Tri-City Partners is one of them, along with Bloomington United for Youth and the Youth Action Crew.
Well, Tom and Denise, you guys have each worked together on several projects to promote healthy youth development, including a recent project that is helping to deter underage drinking. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, yeah, we have had a wonderful opportunity of working with a group called the Bloomington Youth Action Crew to work on some different projects to promote healthy youth development. And one of them has been developing some public service announcements, or PSAs, around underage drinking prevention. And we focused on underage drinking prevention because alcohol is the #1 substance that is used by youth in our community. And so we received funding through the McKnight Foundation and also through an organization called SAMHSA, which is Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Organization, to work with youth to develop these PSAs. Okay. And the first one we did was we actually aired last fall during Chemical Health Week. We aired it for the first time, and we call it the Soccer Ball PSA. And along with that, we had some posters, just a series of different posters that went along with the PSA, and we put them up in all of the middle schools in Bloomington and the 2 high schools to go along with the PSA. And then we also did a second PSA that Tom is going to talk about.
Perfect.
So this another time that is critical for youth and alcohol use is around the prom time. So we rolled this one out the week of prom, And it was the vision was to get it playing in the school news shows of all the high schools and the middle schools, which reached, I think, what, 4,000 or so kids in 1 week. And that was the Make Grandma Proud campaign. And so, as with the soccer ball one, the idea came from the Youth Action Crew. They brainstormed. They said, so rather than adults coming up with this whole thing, we put it to the youth and said, you know, what kind of things, what messages do you need to hear? What will affect your peers? What will make some positive action on their part? And so, that's the exciting thing about this whole project is it hasn't just been adult-driven, but really youth-driven from the whole thing. It's their idea, and then we brought in the Youth Action Crew came up with the ideas and the scripts and things, and the BEC volunteers gave it legs and actually brought it all together. So
wonderful. Well, yeah, kind of finding out what works, what they're going to respond to, the youth. So, well, we do have that public service announcement. It's called the Make Grandma Proud campaign, which is a message from the Bloomington Youth Action Crew, BEC TV, and Bloomington United for Youth. Take a look. Welcome back, everyone. You just saw the public service announcement for the Make Grandma Proud campaign, and we are still here today joined by Public Health Youth Health Promotion Specialist Denise Reese and BEC TV Director and Tri-City Partners Coalition member Tom Ringdahl. Thanks again. Well, tell us a little bit, Denise, about how you've seen public service announcements benefit our area youth.
Okay, well, after the soccer ball PSA was aired in the fall, we did a follow-up survey with 300 ninth graders in the high schools and asked them if they had seen the PSA and or the posters that were put up in their school. And in the evaluation, 75% of the respondents said that they had seen the PSA or the posters, and of those, 52% said that it influenced them not to drink. So we were happy with that and thought that showed that they really did have an impact.
Acknowledging substance abuse in young people isn't often something that I guess is recognized. Talk a bit about the importance of acknowledging substance use and other risk behaviors in today's youth. I mean, why is it important to kind of narrow down on that and put a stop to it?
Okay, well, for this particular project, we did focus on alcohol because it is, alcohol is used by our youth in our community. That was the #1 substance that is used. And so that's why we put a lot of this time and effort into this particular project, because alcohol really does affect youth in a lot of different ways, in a lot of negative ways. And so we really wanted to get that message out there. And the coalition really tries to involve youth as well as parents, schools, community members, other organizations, faith communities, law enforcement. We try to get the whole community involved in different ways to get different messages across. And so this is an example of how youth came together and in a way to reach other youth.
How about you? Talk a bit about what BEC TV, why you guys choose to get involved with youth and action programs like this.
Well, BEC TV is interesting, this kind of project, because it's a great opportunity for our student volunteers to get involved in a very different level of kind of production than they're accustomed to. We cover somewhere somewhere between 400 and 600 new shows we create every year on BEC TV, which is huge. And a lot of it is event coverage, and there's also lots of school news kind of things and things like that. But this is very different to take a concept like this from the scratch and work with a script, and the amount of hours that go into a very short thing are really astounding and astronomical. So it's a great opportunity for the students to get involved in that. We work with student volunteers from 7th grade on up. A lot of students, when they graduate from high school, still hang around. So we have a lot of college students who are still with us. A lot of students who volunteered with us who are now professionals in the industry who come back and mentor our current youth. And all of that involvement is one more way that one of the factors that helps youth make good choices, because we're giving them some good life skills and a lot of the assets that are that help kids succeed. And so being part of BEC in itself is helping kids succeed, and then being part of a project like this really underscores that.
Absolutely.
An interesting side note is that the Grandma PSA, part of it, the party scene that takes place in a house, is at a former BEC TV volunteers home.
Right.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So it just shows the connections and how Tom has really stayed connected with people for long after they graduate.
Absolutely. Well, it almost seems that just getting out and doing activities is, kind of the best way to deter from things like that.
Getting involved.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that kind of leads into the next question. How can residents or students alike get involved with either Tri-City Partners Coalition or BEC TV to work on a joint project or separate?
Sure. Yep. Well, the Tri-City Partners Coalition, we are always looking for people to get involved with us. Like I said before, parents, youth, faith communities, businesses, the whole community. We have a role for everybody. Again, getting different messages out in different ways. We have a leadership team that meets once a month, but we also have some action teams that work on things like this campaign, as well as other work like policy type work, changing some policies in the community around alcohol and tobacco and other drug use, as well as some other opportunities as well. So you can contact, actually probably the easiest way is to go on our website, which is www.tricitypartners.org.
Okay. Wonderful. How about you, Tom? How can anyone get involved with BEC?
Yeah, as I mentioned, we work with students from 7th grade on upward. They don't have to have any experience at all. We train them with everything they need to know. They just come with a passion for technology and for media, and for we have people who are artists and animators and photographers and everything from the top to the bottom in a TV production to make things happen. And we work with them and train them. And students who want to get involved with BEC can go straight to our website at bectv.org. Another great opportunity for students is to get involved with Bloomington United for Youth. I'm chair of that organization, so another hat. And that's a great place for students to get involved as well. They can go to bloomingtonyouth.org.
Wonderful. Well, great. Well, we'd like to thank both Tom and Denise for being with us today. Now, if you'd like more information on either BEC TV or the Tri-City Partners Coalition, we have links to those up on the city's website at www.ci.bloomington.mn.us. It's time for a short break. We'll be right back.
So, what's the big deal about moving firewood?
Sometimes we move things we don't want, like emerald ash borer. The beetle larvae hatch from eggs and chew through bark. They feed on the wood and cut off the tree's nutrients. They live under the bark in winter, and when they come out in the spring as winged beetles, they can fly off and eat other ash trees. Emerald ash borer might seem like a small bug, but it's a big deal to Minnesota. Don't spread emerald ash borer. Burn firewood where you buy it.
Welcome back, everyone. A few weeks ago on Bloomington Today, we brought you one area school's quest to incorporate more nutritious meals into school lunch programs. A team of students, community members, teachers, and 2 Bloomington public health nurses, along with Todd Bolton, the corporate chef for Parasol Restaurant Group, took to the cookbooks and came up with one prickly recipe called porcupine sliders. They entered the Recipe for Kids contest, which is part of First Lady Michelle Obama's initiative to prevent childhood obesity. Out of hundreds of finalists, the sliders made it into the top 15 semifinalists. The group made the sliders for a panel of judges who then voted. Those votes, as well as online votes, are currently being tallied. While the results of those votes are not yet in, we'd like to take this time to show how the Statewide Health Improvement Program, or SHIP, was a catalyst for South Education Center Alternatives' Healthy Living Initiative. Bloomington Public Health is the lead agency for SHIP in Bloomington, Edina, and Richfield, a three-city effort to create healthy communities.
Promoting a safe, healthy school environment is key at SEC. The school received the Gold Award in a county-wide wellness competition the past 2 years. Terry Guthrie, consumer education instructor, has been its biggest champion. Terry also led a team who applied for and received a statewide health improvement grant for a rather unique project.
It started last spring when we applied and received the SHIP grant for our garden. And we received the grant. From that, we built 12 raised garden beds out of some nice cedar wood. And then we had a huge semi come and dump, I don't know how much, it was a lot of soil. And then we filled the beds, and then we planted. And we really had a thriving garden this summer, which was really nice.
And then we have roasted vegetables, the squash and onions, some of the potatoes. They all came from the garden this summer. So we just roasted them this morning and we'll serve them for lunch today. These are squash breads on the side, and these are zucchini blueberry breads. The students that you'll meet today made these carrot cake from scratch, from carrots out of the garden, and they also made the cream cheese icing. That was just done yesterday. It was all done from scratch. It looks just decadent.
So we harvested the vegetables and we are celebrating with a nice feast. We have invited the school board and the district administrative team, as well as some of the SHIP grant people. Another benefit of the garden has been not only our students eating more vegetables, but it's affecting a younger generation. A lot of the students have their children here in our child care. And so the little ones, it's so fun to see them out there digging in and getting prickled by the cucumber plants and tasting a radish for the first time, and their eyes and excitement in it. It's wonderful.
The Garden Project was the creative spark that led to the exploration into more healthy eating. And now, on to the porcupine sliders. Oh, by the way, slider partner Chef Todd Bolton is featuring the sliders on the special menu at his restaurant, The Good Earth, a local well-known hearty and healthy eating spot, just right up the street.
Chef Bolton has had porcupine sliders on the menu at both the Galleria and Rosedale Good Earth restaurants, and officials at the school say the dish has been quite a success, so much so that sliders might become a permanent menu item. We'll keep you updated right here on Bloomington Today about the results of the contest when they're in. Let's hope the porcupine sliders come out on top. Well, one of Bloomington's longtime fixtures in the community is being honored with one big award. We'd like to congratulate Bloomington Ice Garden, or BIG as many people know it, as they were the recipient of the 2011 James Pageant Award. This award is given annually to the Minnesota Ice Arena that distinguishes itself as a leader, innovator, and contributor to the ice arena industry. At the June 6th City Council meeting, Director of Community Services Diane Kirby described some of the leading-edge energy efficiency improvements, like a hot gas recovery system that heats the building, as well as a water-cooled condenser to reclaim heat and minimize the natural gas used. Kirby presented the award to Bloomington Ice Garden manager Andy Bulk-Galvis, as well as the City Council.
Kudos go out to the entire staff of the Bloomington Ice Garden, particularly its manager here, Andy Bulk-Galvis. Andy has served at the Ice Garden since 1971. Yes, 40 years. He doesn't look it at all. The last 5 years serving as its manager. Many of those energy efficiency and other building improvements referred to earlier are directly attributable to Andy. Andy and his staff are meticulous in their care and operation of the Ice Garden. They keep a watchful eye toward keeping costs down while providing a first-rate customer experience.
Congrats again to the Bloomington Ice Garden. Well, that's all the time we have for today. To get more information on city projects, parks, road construction, and events, visit the city's website. To check out past Bloomington Today shows or other city productions, visit Bloomington's YouTube channel, accessible right from the city's homepage. That and so much more is online right now at www.ci.bloomington.mn.us. If Facebook or Twitter isn't your thing, sign up for eSubscribe to have updates sent right to your email or your cell phone. This is Bloomington Today, a presentation of the City of Bloomington's Communications Division. I'm Kaylin Cockriel. Thanks so much for joining us.